Hey guys, welcome back to MYC Uncensored. My name's Anika and I'm joined with
Satini.
and today we're going to be addressing a topic that I think a lot of people can kind of resonate with, which is fitting into Western beauty standards as a woman of color, which is very big. I think there's so many things and so many issues that are around this topic, and we just kind of want to address that today. So we'll just dive right in. So I think the first thing we can talk about is just hair. The Western beauty standard of having like beautiful, silky, long, straight hair, brunette or blonde. I think blonde is a really big thing. Just being having blonde hair, or like having really light hair, which is really big. And I think there's so much info about having straight hair, or like ways to just a lot of products that kind of cater to straight hair rather than curly hair. And a lot of the time I see people or just a lot of information saying that like, oh, I don't know how to take care of my curls, or there's no information about how to take care of the curls. Which is, especially being Indian, I think there's so many, like nobody takes care of curls in India. It's just everyone brushes their hair out, puts it in a braid, and it's just nobody kind of understands how to take care of it or how to style it. And it's really because of that Western beauty standard of having straight silky hair. And I don't think there's enough information about that. And yeah, definitely that being an issue is kind of a big thing. Do you have anything to add on?
Yeah, like for context, sorry, I'm Tongan. So if you don't know where that is, it's in the Pacific Islands near like Fiji and all that stuff. So yeah, I think most people in my culture, many of us have curly hair. I mean, personally, I have. My hair story is just kind of sad, right? Because I used to have dead straight hair when I was younger, and then as I grew up, it went curly and then wavy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's because like I didn't look after my hair properly, which is probably the reason why. But yeah, I think there's definitely standards, especially in like cultures, like they look down on people that have different textured hair. So like, and like you said, like for some reason curly hair, which is very beautiful by the way.
Yeah, it's so
like
pretty.
when people have curly hair, it's like, I don't know, it's looked down upon, which is
I
so
know,
random, right?
I would say definitely in India, personally, I've seen like people with curly hair, they're not really like looked down upon, but it's just people with straight hair are looked up upon. Like it's like, oh my god, you're so beautiful.
Yeah,
You're
it's like they're on
a
different,
model.
like,
But curly hair is equally as beautiful, and I think there are just so like when you've styled it or know how to take care of your hair, even if you don't feel like styling it, it's just knowing to take care of your natural hair and not trying to fit into something that is kind of just because of media and just the way people perceive it. Not trying to fit into that, because curls are beautiful, and just knowing how to take care of that, because it's just so stunning. I think the culture around curls, and there's just so many styles that you can do, and I love like when I see like braiding videos on Instagram, like box braids and stuff. It's just so pretty. And I think there are some cultures that really push it. Like I think in African cultures, they definitely take care of that hair and really kind of showcase it as a part of their culture, which I really respect about that. And that hair is just stunning. But in a lot of parts of India, personally, where I come from, where I see that, it's just a lot of the time they don't take care of it. They don't even know that you can have curly hair. It's just, oh, you just have some frizzy hair. That's it. I think that's a really big issue.
No, for sure. And yeah, obviously, like, we can't speak on like African protective hairstyles and all that stuff, which beautiful by the way. But like, and it saddens me that I see on social media like some of these African women come out and say, like, for their corporate jobs or something, they have to have their hair this type of way instead of, you know, their natural, like if it's a fro or something, like, and stuff like that. It's saddening to see.
And I think they don't understand that it's not as easy to do a straight hairstyle, a straight hairstyle on curly head of hair. And I feel like a lot of people don't really think about that, and that's definitely something that I think a lot of people struggle with. And even in Australia, like, our country is so diverse, it's not really like there's just one major kind of like like ethnicity or nationality. It's just everyone's so diverse, and a lot of the time people will have curly hair, not just straight hair. And it's not just seen in other countries that have a lot of curly haired people. It's also seen here, and even in America there's definitely people with curly hair and not getting that information to how to take care of it, because with straight hair people will just say, oh, just brush it, put some hair oils in it or something, or you can just style it with like a hair dryer and stuff, and you don't even need to do anything with it. But I understand with curly hair there's so many products that you need to take care of, and it's just not knowing which products to buy is definitely an issue. Because with straight hair there's not, like, if you just want basic like straight hair and you don't really have curly hair and you don't have a definition. Also, straight hair is really beautiful, just saying. We're not putting down straight hair. Straight hair is stunning, and I think there's so many ways you can style it, but it's just there's so much information about straight hair, and just so many things are based around the kind of default straight hair, just saying that, oh, you need to put it up in a ponytail or a bun, and that's a lot easier for straight head people than curly head people. So I think that's a very big thing. But I think we'll move on to skin, which I think may be the biggest point in this. I think just that stigma around having darker skin or darker tones or shades of skin is a very big thing. I think in Western culture, having pale white skin, not just in like majority white countries like America and stuff, but even in like India or China, having pale skin is kind of a beauty standard, and it's like you're a supermodel or you're kind of so beautiful if you have that color skin. But with people who have darker shades of skin, it's not really like it's kind of looked down upon, and I think that's something that isn't really addressed. Like it is addressed, but people don't really talk about that as much, I think. And I think there's so many people who go through that struggle of feeling that their self-worth is less just because of the color of their skin. And it's I wouldn't say it's as bad as getting discriminated because of racism, but it's definitely kind of along that same line, that feeling you're less because of the color of your skin, which is just really horrible.
And like we mentioned this off air about how there's skin bleaching products. And in some countries, like, they advertise the hell out of them.
Right. It's just so bad. And I think with like makeup, brands recently, there's been a big increase in colored products, like for darker shades or tones of skin. But for majority of the makeup and the way it started, it's just lighter tones. They have 50 shades for 50 different shades that are like a tone or a little bit different for people who have lighter skin, and it's just, oh, they find the exact same tone. But when you come to darker shades, there may be like 3 different variations.
Oh my god.
And it's just like they brand themselves as if they're an inclusive brand, and it's absolutely not inclusive because they haven't really made the market fair to the people with darker shades, because they're like, oh, they're just that, we'll just group them in one thing, and then get one model to wear one shade and be like, oh, we included you guys. What else do you want from us? And I think there are a lot of good brands, like Fenty is a very good brand.
Shout out Fenty.
Yeah, definitely good. Rare Beauty has kind of been starting with that. I think Rare Beauty is kind of more blush, but I think definitely there's some inclusive brands. But most of the starting brands, most of the start of older brands is really just based upon having the pale skin and just being considered just beautiful for having pale skin. Also, a disclaimer, pale skin is beautiful. Any skin tone you have is beautiful. But a lot of people are put down if they don't have that type of skin color, and I think that's really unfair to the people who are kind of born that way, and they really don't have any say in it. And I think even if they're born that way, we kind of need to support and promote that everyone is beautiful, and we shouldn't say that there's a default, or like having pale skin is kind of the default or what everyone should strive to have, because dark skin is absolutely stunning. Any shade of skin, having tan skin, having lighter skin is all really beautiful. But I think with makeup, I think makeup kind of is a really big thing now, not just with like adults, but even younger people. I see so many like kids on
like that meme where it's like the 10-year-olds in Sephora.
Yeah, but even starting at 10 years old, obviously I'm kind of against having kids doing makeup at that little, but even like having kids who are that little into makeup or kind of looking in that environment, just knowing that every skin tone is kind of accounted for and everyone is treated equally, within the makeup society. I think it's a very big thing.
Yeah, and like you said, the word inclusive, like, or inclusivity is like, what's that word? Like, everyone is just throwing it around now in the makeup industry. Like, it's just so, it's funny, but it's not funny,
Yeah.
right? And it's like, if you really didn't wanna put in that effort to try and make shades for dark women and more than just the 3, then honestly, I would think just don't even do it at all.
Yeah, because
like, cause
it's not like fair
all
to
just
take
for
the
show.
title of inclusivity
Yeah.
just to incorporate like 3 different shades. It's just not fair. If you don't want to be a brand that is inclusive, don't
Yeah.
be. But that will reflect badly on you, because in this society, we are trying to change the way that we perceive things, and I think it's a really big thing for makeup companies to kind of adapt to that and really include everyone, but really include everyone.
Yeah.
Genuinely want to make a difference and make sure that all their customers are treated equally.
Yeah. And like, speaking from experience, like, and this can obviously be an experience if you're like lighter than me or darker than me, but growing up, I don't know when I started makeup, but finding my foundation shade, I'm telling you how many times that I'd go be like, yep, this brown suits me. And then I'll go home, I'm orange.
Oh
You know,
my
and
God.
that is so bad. Like, either it was too orange or it'd come up ashy or just darker than me. So it's, you know,
Yeah.
and most of us brown girls have been through it all. So I just...
And it's not even with like foundations or skin tones, it's also with like lipsticks and blushes.
Yeah.
There's so much science about color theory and stuff,
Yes.
and like if it's a really nice shade on a pale model, you might look at it and then when you try it on, it's kind of a salmony or like not a really nice color. And it's like, even if it's not like a foundation which kind of really reflects the shade of your skin, it can be other products, but they kind of have a lot of products or colors that kind of match a paler model rather than one with darker skin, which I think is definitely an issue. But
Yeah.
I think we'll kind of move on to the next point, which is body standards as like a female and a woman of color. I think like kind of the Western beauty standard is really just being tall, skinny, just having that really lean body. And I think with magazines from hundreds of years ago and even to now, they get so many models who are from like a white descent or Caucasian who have that body type. And it's not that that body type isn't beautiful, it is, but everyone has different genes and genetics and the way that their body is built. Even 2 people will never have the same body type, even if they're on the same diet, eat the same things, have same physical exercise. Everybody is different. And I think there was always a time, I think with like the way a body is like shaped, or there are so many like trends or fads, like being really skinny at one point was really a big fad. Being curvy, having hourglass body like the Kim Kardashians and stuff was a really big fad. And I think understanding that you shouldn't change your body or feel like you need to change your body based on what society deems beautiful, because it's always going to change and you can't keep up with that, and you shouldn't need to keep up with that. And I think as a woman of color, there's just so many different like variations of body types, and I think the way that you're built should really just be about feeding your body the right things, treating your body right. That means doing activities or exercises that you agree with or you feel like you want to do. Don't do something because, oh, I'm going to work out because I want to lose 5 kilos, or I want to work out because I want to look like this model, because you won't. And that's not, I'm not saying that it's not because you can't do it, or I'm saying that you can't look beautiful, but it's not, it's in the sense that you should do something because you know you're doing good to your body, rather than kind of than just wanting to fit into society's expectations. So yeah, overall I think really just understanding that your body is kind of your temple and treating it correctly, and making sure that you're eating the right things. I think nutrition is a really big thing. There are so many things about cutting out whole food groups, going on a keto diet, going on a paleo diet, cutting out carbs. Carbs are bad for you. All that stigma and misinformation about what's right for you and what's wrong. But please understand that having a balanced diet isn't about eating less calories or being in a calorie deficit or working out 3 hours a day and then eating maybe 2 meals a day that is only like half the quantity that you really need if you're going to keep up that workout. Really understanding that you need to feed your body the right things. And please understand that carbs is a good thing for you. Do not cut out whole food groups. Make sure that you're eating things that you enjoy. Make sure you're eating everything that you want, but always in moderation. And obviously, there are going to be times where you just feel kind of crap and you want to kind of feel good about yourself, or you just want a snack or something that you've been craving. And I'm not saying don't do that, but always try to think, am I feeding my body the right things? Am I doing what's right for my body? So yeah, I think overall, just understanding that you're beautiful from head to toe. Do not ever feel like you need to fit in to standards, especially the Western beauty standards, because they're always changing, plus they're so specific, and they really don't consider everyone. And I think definitely understanding that there are people there who relate to you and have the same issues that you do. You're not alone. Just understanding that is very, very important. But yeah, overall, that's what I would say. Satini had to leave real quick, but if you guys found this entertaining or relatable, please listen to some of our other podcasts. We do so many that are relatable for girls, and from all ages. I think we have a lot of relatable topics. So try head down to Spotify or Podbean. I think Spotify is a bit easier. But yeah, we have a whole series. We have different series on the podcast. So yeah, try listen to some other ones. But yeah, I hope this podcast was helpful and I hope you learned something. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to email us. Yeah. Thanks, guys.